Imagine this. It's a quiet, cold night in Boston. The city is asleep. Suddenly, the peace is shattered. Piercing sirens cut through the darkness. On a once tranquil street, chaos erupts. Flames, like angry orange tongues, are devouring an apartment building, reaching for the night sky. Thick, black smoke billows out, painting a terrifying picture against the city lights. This isn't a scene from a movie. It's a real-life nightmare unfolding. Fire trucks, ambulances, and police cars swarm the area, their flashing lights creating a frantic, disorienting strobe effect. Hoses are unrolled with desperate speed, and firefighters rush towards the inferno, their silhouettes stark against the blaze. You can almost feel the heat and smell the acrid smoke just by looking. On the sidewalks, residents who've escaped stand in shock, wrapped in blankets, their faces illuminated by the flashing lights, watching their homes and memories turn to ash. Each window of the building tells a different story of a life suddenly upended. In the midst of this pandemonium, the true heroes emerge. Firefighters laden with gear charge into the burning structure without a moment's hesitation. They are battling not just the flames, but time itself. Every second counts. They move with practiced precision, a coordinated dance in the face of danger. Ladders extend towards the upper floors, reaching out like lifelines to those who might still be trapped inside. You see them navigating through smoke-filled hallways, their flashlights cutting through the gloom, searching, calling out, pushing forward into the unknown. Then, a moment of hope pierces through the despair. A firefighter appears at a window, a small child cradled safely in their arms. Down below, a collective gasp of relief is followed by applause. It's a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of nights, human courage and compassion shine the brightest. This single act of bravery represents the countless risks these first responders take every single day. They are ordinary people who, when the alarm sounds, become extraordinary saviors. As the fire is gradually brought under control and the first light of dawn begins to break, the true scale of the devastation becomes clear. But what remains, stronger than the scorched brick and broken glass, is the spirit of the community. Neighbors are comforting neighbors, volunteers are arriving with water and support, and the city is rallying together. It's a testament to resilience, a powerful display of how people come together to help one another rebuild from the ashes. It's in these moments of crises that we see the very best of humanity. Thank you for watching. Remember to appreciate the first responders in your community. Like and subscribe for more stories that matter. Every call is a leap into the unknown. You hear the alarm. Your heart starts pounding. But it's not fear, it's focus. The world outside fades away, and all that matters is the task ahead. This isn't just about putting on a uniform, it's about putting on a shield, both physically and mentally. First, the pants and boots. They go on in one swift motion, a move practiced thousands of times until it's pure muscle memory. Seconds count. Then comes the bunker coat, heavy and thick. It's like a familiar hug from an old friend, one who's seen you through your worst days. Each buckle and clasp is a small prayer for safety. This gear is our second skin, engineered to withstand temperatures that would melt steel. It's what stands between us and the inferno. Next, the hood goes on, covering my neck and ears. It's a thin layer, but it's crucial for protecting against steam and superheated air. Then, the self-contained breathing apparatus, the SCBA. It's my lifeline. I check the gauge full tank. The hiss of air as I test the regulator is a reassuring sound. It means I'll have clean air to breathe when everything else is smoke and poison. This pack is heavy, adding another 50 pounds, but you don't even feel the weight when the adrenaline kicks in. The mask is the next piece of the puzzle. I pull it over my face, sealing it tight. For a moment, the world goes quiet. All I can hear is my own breathing, a steady rhythm that calms the mind. It's in this moment of quiet that you truly prepare. You run through the scenarios, the training, you think about your crew, the people you trust with your life. We're a family, and we're going in together. Finally, the helmet. It's the crown of the uniform. As it clicks into place, everything locks in. My face is set. My resolve is hardened. I grab my gloves and my tools. Looking in the reflection, I don't see myself anymore. I see a firefighter, ready for whatever is on the other side of that door. It's a transformation. The person who walked in this morning is gone, replaced by someone prepared to face the flames. It's not about being fearless. It's about managing that fear and using it to stay sharp, to stay alive, and to bring others home safely. Let's go to work. The heat is unbearable, a living thing that presses in from all sides. I can barely see a foot in front of me. The air, thick with black, choking smoke that stings my eyes and burns my throat with every desperate gasp. The roar of the fire is deafening, a constant, angry rumble, punctuated by the sickening crack of splintering wood and the groan of tortured metal. It's a symphony of destruction, and I'm right in the middle of it. Sparks rain down like angry fireflies, catching on my gear, and I have to pat them out before they can burn through. The floorboards beneath my feet are spongy, threatening to give way with every careful step. I keep one hand on the wall, feeling my way through the inferno, the plaster blistering and crumbling under my touch. Above me, the ceiling sags, heavy with the weight of the flames that lick and devour everything. A support beam crashes down just a few feet away, sending a shower of embers into the air. My heart hammers against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the roar of the fire. Every instinct is screaming at me to turn back, to run, to get out. Fear is a cold knot in my stomach, a paralyzing weight that tries to root me to the spot. But I can't. I have to push it down, have to keep moving. Somewhere in this hell, someone is waiting. That thought, that single purpose, is the only thing that cuts through the noise and the heat. I take another step, then another, my eyes scanning the swirling chaos for any sign of life. The fire wants to claim this building, but it won't claim me. Not today. I have to keep going. I have to find them. The walls are closing in. The flames are getting closer, but I won't stop. Primera, kehte. The heat was a physical blow, a solid wall pushing against me, but I kept moving, my eyes scanning every window, every doorway, praying I hadn't missed anyone. The roar of the fire was deafening, a monstrous beast consuming everything in its path. My radio crackled with urgent commands, the shouts of my team a chaotic symphony against the inferno's relentless percussion. We were making progress, clearing the lower floors, but the building groaned under the strain, threatening to collapse at any moment. Time was our enemy, each second a gamble. Then, through the cacophony, I heard it, a sound so faint, so out of place, I almost dismissed it as a trick of the mind. It was a high-pitched cry, thin and desperate, carried on the swirling currents of smoke and ash. My head snapped up. There, on the top floor, framed in a window thick with black smoke, was a small silhouette. A child, a little girl, her face streaked with tears and soot, her small hands pressed against the glass. Her cries were barely audible, a fragile thread of sound in the overwhelming noise, but they hit me with the force of a tidal wave. In that instant, everything else faded away. The heat, the danger, the orders crackling in my ear, it all went silent. My world narrowed to that one window, to that terrified little girl. Every instinct, every ounce of training, screamed at me to go. My team was still working the second floor, but she was on the fourth, trapped, with the fire climbing fast. There was no time to wait, no time for a coordinated plan. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat of pure adrenaline. Without a second thought, I broke from my position, shouting into my radio, "I've got a visual. Top floor." A child. "I'm going in." The words were barely out of my mouth before I was charging toward the nearest stairwell. The little girl's crying face burned into my mind. I had to get to her. Just at to. Please, let me be in time. The air is thick with smoke, so dense you can barely see a foot in front of you. Every breath is a struggle, a fight against the scorching heat that feels like it's melting your skin. This is the world Mark has just plunged into. The roar of the fire is deafening, a monstrous beast consuming everything in its path. And there, amidst the chaos, is the staircase's only way up. It's not just a staircase anymore. It's a death trap, groaning and splintering under the inferno's assault. Flames snake up the railings, devouring the wood, turning steps into treacherous, glowing embers. With each upward step, the structure shudders violently. A chunk of the stairs ahead crumbles, disappearing into the fiery abyss below, leaving a gaping hole. For a moment, he freezes. Anyone, wool. The sheer terror of it, the instinct to turn back, is overwhelming. But then, a sound cuts through the roar, a faint cry for help from above. That sound is his fuel. It reignites his purpose, pushing aside the fear. His face is a mask of soot and sweat, but his eyes are fixed upward, burning with a resolve that defies the flames. He's not just climbing stairs. He's climbing against time, against a collapsing world, with every muscle screaming in protest. He reaches the gap. It's a leap of faith. He gathers his strength, his knuckles white as he grips the scorched railing, and lunges. He lands hard on the other side, the impact jarring his entire body. The stairs groan in protest, threatening to give way completely. He doesn't dare look down. He can't. He just keeps moving, one agonizing step after another. This isn't about being fearless. It's about being brave when you're terrified. It's the raw, unfiltered courage of someone who knows a life depends on them. He's literally walking through fire, defying death with every single heartbeat. It's a breathtaking display of human spirit against impossible odds. What happens next? Make sure you resubscribed so you don't miss it. The city was a symphony of chaos. Sirens wailed, lights flashed, and the night sky glowed an angry orange. But amidst the clamor, one sound cut through the nosa. Desperate, tiny cry for help. That's where our story begins. In the heart of a raging inferno, where an ordinary man was about to face an extraordinary test. His name is Mark. Not a firefighter, not a police officer, just a guy who was on his way home. But when he saw the flames devouring the apartment building and heard that faint whimper from a third-story window, something inside him shifted. He didn't hesitate. He didn't wait for permission. He just ran. The heat was a physical blow, a scorching wall that tried to push him back. Smoke stung his eyes and choked his lungs. Every instinct screamed at him to turn around, to get out, to save himself. But that small voice, the one that was now getting weaker, propelled him forward. He kicked down a door, navigated through a maze of fire and collapsing debris, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. He found her in a small bedroom, huddled in a corner, her small frame shaking. For a moment, the world stood still. Through the swirling smoke, their eyes met. In his, she saw a promise of safety. In hers, he saw a reflection of the innocence he was fighting to protect. He scooped her up, wrapping her tiny body in his arms. She was so light, so fragile. As he carried her out, the fire seemed to rage with a new fury, as if angry to be cheated of its prize. A beam crashed down just inches from where they had been. But Mark didn't flinch. He held her tighter, shielding her with his own body, whispering, "I've got you. You're safe now." In that moment, he wasn't just a man. A was a hero, a testament to the incredible bravery and compassion that lies within us all, waiting for the right moment to shine. This footage is a powerful reminder that heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes, they're just ordinary people who choose to do extraordinary things. Thanks for watching. And if this story touched you, please give it a like and subscribe for more incredible true stories. In the heart of the inferno, where walls groaned and the very air seemed to ignite, every second stretched into an eternity. For Mark, a firefighter with years of experience etched onto his face, this was just another Tuesday, but tonight was different. Tonight, a small, terrified voice had cut through the roar of the flames, a desperate cry for help that resonated deep in his soul. He had found her huddled in a corner, a little girl clutching a teddy bear, her eyes wide with a fear no child should ever know. He scooped her up, whispering promises of safety, promises he wasn't sure he could keep. The journey back was a Dantesque nightmare. The building fought them at every turn, a labyrinth of collapsing ceilings and treacherous, burning floors. The heat was a physical blow, his gear groaning under the strain. He shielded the girl with his own body, her small frame of fragile weight in his arms. His lungs screamed for clean air, His muscles burned with an intensity that matched the fire around them. Every instinct told him to hurry, but every step was a calculated risk. A wrong move, a moment of hesitation, and they would both be consumed. Through the dense, acrid smoke, he could barely see his own hands, relying on memory, training, and a sheer force of will to navigate the chaos. He kept talking to her, his voice a strained but steady anchor in the storm, telling her about his own daughter, about the ice cream they'd get, about the stars waiting for them outside. Then, a glimmer, a break in the suffocating darkness. It was the doorway, a portal back to life. With one final, desperate push, he burst through the wall of smoke and into the cool night air. The sudden silence was deafening, broken only by his own ragged breaths and the soft sobs of the child in his arms. And then, another sound washed over them, a wave of cheers. His fellow firefighters, his brothers and sisters in arms, erupted in a chorus of relief and triumph. They rushed forward, hands clapping his shoulders, voices thick with emotion. Ik knelt down, gently setting the girl on her feet as paramedics hurried to her side. He looked up, his face smeared with soot, and saw not just colleagues, but family. In their eyes he saw a reflection of his own exhaustion, his own fear, and his own profound, unshakable pride. Tonight, they hadn't just fought a fire. They had saved a future. And in that moment, under the quiet gaze of the stars, that was everything. Thanks for watching. They say courage is not the absence of fear. Looking back, I can tell you that's the absolute truth. As I sat there on the curb, the smell of smoke still thick in the air, every muscle in my body screaming, all I could think about was the fear. It was a cold, hard knot in my stomach the entire time. When I saw the flames, my first instinct wasn't to be a hero, it was Torun. My mind was a racetrack of worst-case scenarios. What if I don't make it? What if the floor gives way? What if I'm too late? Every step forward was a battle against that voice, telling me to turn back. Savvy myself. It's a strange thing, what your body does. Even when your mind is paralyzed by fear, your feet can still move. You just put one foot in front of the other. It's not some grand, cinematic moment like in the movies. It's messy. It's clumsy. It's just you, your pounding heart, and a single, desperate thought. Primet abito tra. I had to try for them. That's what they don't tell you about courage. It isn't a superpower. It's a choice. A terrible, difficult choice you make in a split second. You choose to act despite the fear. You push it down, just for a moment, long enough to do what needs to be done. It's the decision to value something or someone more than your own safety. Sitting there, covered in soot, watching the emergency lights flash against the smoke, I wasn't thinking about being brave. I was just thinking about how glad I was that I didn't let the fear win. And that, I've learned, is what truly matters. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more stories.